Hey guys, this is Shashmita. Welcome to Science Warrior YouTube channel. If you want to learn science in easiest and simplest way, then please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Today we are going to learn the new topic whose name is natures of matter and elements, compounds and mixtures. Okay, so this chapter belongs to the 8th class Ncert Cbse classes. If you want to take sub notes or if you want to take only important points, then this video is for you. You can take screenshot. Otherwise, you can write the important things on your copy. So let's start the class. The chapter name is Nature of Matter, Element, Compounds and Mixture. An introduction to pure substance, mixture and building blocks of the material world. So the first question arises here that what is matter? Okay, matter is anything that has mass and occupies space, everything around us, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the books we read, even people is made up of matter exists in three physical states: solid, liquid, gas. Solids have definite shape and volume, liquids have definite volume but no fixed shape, gases have neither a definite shape nor the volume. So here we know that matter is everything that we see around us. That means the book, the drink, the people, the trees, the animals, all are composed with matters. And matter have only three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. Solids have definite shape, volume. If we take an example of any solid things like your notebook, that your notebook have definite shape and definite volume. Liquids have definite volume but no fixed shape. That means if we take an example of water, that means it have a typical volume but no fixed shape. Gases have neither a definite shape nor any volume. Okay. So here the image of solid state, that is colloid, that here is the liquid, here is the liquid molecules, that is gaseous molecules, and that is the steam vapor. Okay. The next thing is properties of matter, that is mass, that is volume, that is physical state, that is measurability. What is mass? Mass is the amount of matter present in an object. It remains constant regardless of location and is measured in grams and kilograms. That means mass is the outer area which is measured by grams and kilograms. Volume is the amount of the space occupied by matter, that is, it is measured in liters and cubic centimeters. Depending on the state of matter. Physical state, matter exists in three physical states, that is solid, definite shape and volume, liquid, definite volume, no fixed shape, and gas, no fixed shape or volume. Measurability, properties of matter can be observed and measured using scientific instruments. These measurements help us classify, study different type of matters. These are four properties of matter, that is mass, volume, physical state and measurability. The next thing is classification of matter. Matter is broadly classified into pure substance and mixture. Pure substance have a fixed composition or definite mm, properties. Elements made of only one kind of atom, that is oxygen and iron. These are uh, belongs to the pure elements. Compounds, two or more elements chemically combined in fixed proportion, that is water and salt. We take the example of water, that is H2O, that means two hydrogen and one oxygen molecule. So these are combining and forming a compound. Mixtures, two or more substances physically combined, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Uniform composition throughout, example sugar in water. Heterogeneous mixture, that is non-uniform composition, example sand and water. Okay. The next thing is, what are elements? An element is the pure substance made up of only one kind of atom. Elements cannot be broken down into simpler substance by chemical methods. Oxygen, essential for breathing and combustion. Hydrogen, lightest element found in water. Iron, used in tools, construction and the human body. There are 118 elements in the periodic table. Okay. So we know here that elements are only composed of pure substances. Okay. And they cannot be broken down into simple substances by chemical methods. So elements are all around us in everyday life. Oxygen present in the air we breathe, essential for respiration and combustion. Iron Fe found in tools, machines, bridges and cookware, one of the most widely used metals. Carbon, the next element is carbon, present in pencils as graphite, diamonds and all living organisms. The basic organic chemistry. These elements exist in the pure form and cannot broken down further by chemical methods. So here we are taking the example of oxygen, iron and carbon. These are used in our day-to-day life. In oxygen, we take the breath. Iron, we create the machines, bridges and cookware. Carbon, we present in pencils, diamond and all living organisms, the basis of organic chemistry. The next thing is what are compounds? A compound is a substance made up of two or more elements chemically combined in fixed proportion. Compounds have completely different properties from the elements they are made of. They can only be separated into their constituent elements by chemical methods, not physical ones. Water, H2O, that is hydrogen plus oxygen. Carbon dioxide, CO2, that is carbon plus oxygen. Salt, NaCl, that is sodium plus chlorine. These are example of compounds. Characteristic of compounds, that is fixed composition, chemical composition, different properties, chemical bonds. That is what is fixed composition. Compounds always have a fixed ratio of elements by mass. For example, water always contain hydrogen and oxygen in 1:8 ratio by mass. Chemical breakdown, that means compounds can only be broken down into their constituent elements by chemical methods such as electrolysis or thermal decomposition. Different properties. A compound has properties entirely different from its constituent elements. Water is liquid, though hydrogen and oxygen are both gases at room temperature. Chemical bonds. Elements in a compound are held together by strong chemical bonds, ionic or covalent. Energy is required to break these bonds and separate the elements. What are mixtures? A mixture is a combination of two or more substances that are physically mixed together. Here you can example of mixing in type of drinking water, salad, and mixing all type of molecules here. So in this mixture, no fixed composition. Components can vary in ratio. Components retain their original properties, can be separated by physical methods. Example, air, salt water, salad, etc. Types of mixture, that is homogeneous mixture, have uniform composition throughout. The components are evenly distributed and cannot seen bin separately. Example, sugar dissolved in water, salt in water. Here, here you can see that example of salt water and sugar water. You can't find salt and sugar molecules. Heterogeneous mixture have non-uniform composition. The components are unevenly distributed and can often be seen separately. Example, sand water, oil and water and salad. Here you can see the example of sand water. You can see here the water level is on the top and the sand molecules are on the bottom. Example, sand and water. Key difference: in homogeneous mixture, the composition is the same throughout, while in heterogeneous mixture, different parts may have different composition. Compounds versus mixture. Fixed composition by mass can only be separated by chemical methods have new properties different from their constituent elements, that is example water and salt. Mixture variable composition, no fixed ratio can be separated by physical methods. Filtration, evaporation. Components retain their original properties, example salt water, air, sand and water. Okay. Filtration, evaporation, distillation, magnetic separation, these are the method of separation. Filtration used to separate insoluble solids from liquids. Evaporation used to separate dissolved solid from a liquid, example getting salt from salt water by heating. Distillation used to separate miscible liquids with different boiling points, example separating water from alcohol. What is magnetic separation? Used to separate magnetic materials from non-magnetic ones. Example, separating iron fillings from sand using a magnet. Simple experiment, separating salt and sand. Step 1. Mix salt and sand together in a bowl. Observe the heterogeneous mixture. Step 2. Add water to the mixture. Salt dissolved in water and sand does not stay. Step 3. Filter the mixture using filter paper to separate the undissolved sand. Step 4. Heat and the filtered salt water to evaporate the water and recover the salt. You have to continue 4 steps. That is, first step you have to mix salt and sand. In step 2, you have to add water and mix all those. Step 3, filter the mixture using filter paper and separate the undissolved sand. In step 4, heat the filtered, that is salt water, to evaporate the water and recover the salt. Result, sand and salt are successfully separated using physical methods. The next thing is importance of understanding matter. Understanding matter help us in many ways in daily life. Application, knowledge of matter is used in cooking, cleaning, manufacturing and industry. Foundation of science, it forms the basis of learning chemistry, physics and other sciences. Problem solving helps us understand how materials behave and how to use them wisely. Encourages curiosity, inspire us to explore and ask questions about the world around us. Question for you. What is matter? Give 2 examples. Second question, name one difference between an element and compound. What type of mixture is salt water? Fourth question, how can we separate sand from the salt water? Summary of key points. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies volume. Elements are pure substance made of only one kind of atom. Compounds are elements chemically combined in fixed ratios with new properties. Mixtures are physically blend with variable composition. Components retain their properties. Different separation methods, that is filtration, evaporation, distillation, are used for mixtures. Fun fact about elements. Did you know about 90% of the Earth's crust is made up of just 8 elements. These elements are oxygen, silicon, aluminum, iron, calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Oxygen alone make up nearly 46% of the Earth's crust by mass, found mostly in the rocks and minerals, not just in the air we breathe. Thank you guys. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment section. If you want to note some important thing, then you can take screenshot or you had note down on your copy. For Cbse Ncert Science, subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.